Okay, so good morning for everyone. So, same as usual, today is our first day teaching. So, shall we recite Heart Sutra? Yeah.
Okay.
We need to share, or I recite in Tibetan. What do you prefer, recite in English or Tibetan?
Both, whatever you prefer is fine.
But do we have an even text or not?
I think everybody has a text in English.
It's English?
Yeah.
Okay, then as a first day, so I quickly recite first the Tibetan and then we'll recite in English. So meanwhile we recite, we invoke all the wisdom, sublime wisdom of all the enlightenment beings. And through this invocation, we we overcome all our interference forces. Okay, anyhow, meanwhile you are searching, I'll recite in Tibetan. 리게다게 도바티유지나 준nen데 이제바고 저거 한글을 나게 너무 인도 전부터 주스 메긴도 전부터 답주도 주대 대제 준nen데 세면어 시제 주제는 뭐 되는지 나 말씀 양디에 주스 말씀 뭐 보고 전에서 시럽이 벌어도 좀 말씀 저번에 나 넘어가시 공공은 못 달라야 시게 동물 넘어 또 되는 상황이 뒤에 저단에 뭐 시럽이 보여준 주스 말씀 뭐 보고 전에서 언제 되게 되면서 이게 보고가 나가 시럽이 벌어도 좀 말씀 저번 때바데 지나가 버자 되게 좀 뭐 주스 말씀 보고 전에서 언제 그러나 뭐 시럽이 되고 되게 되면서 Ripoche, 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 Marivame, Mariva Sivame, Mariva Sivame, Badingashimega, Isiva, Pardoyame, the Shindu, Juvan, Oda, Lami, Jimmy, Toba, and the Sheriff to Davan, and Jusaman, Tuam, which Sheriff Paradicim, similar to Rami, Jawam, the Shield, the Shield, and Young David Harrison, the Marshal, and Sheriff Paradicim, and I was always the song, the Davan, the Sheriff Paradicim, and Mark, watching them. Another Yama, the Yamam, the short ship and Mam is one of the Moshe, the Sheriff Paradicim, and Mam, but I thought Mokatika, the Paraga, Parasam, the Budi, so I should go and do so much. The Sheriff Paradicim, some other lovers of teenage meeting, use so much more watching this on the situation, as well as the the demolition of the Sheriff Paradicim, some other Jewish, the one measures and your own to the Yeti garden, and the Sheriff, the devil, and use so much watching on the computer. Adamida Namai that is a Jewish day and the Jumne day, Sumba, Baratu, Tayata, Take Paraga, somebody would use all. Our Punjo Sumjaka, the bed of a chair and Dova using Taki Paje, maybe which one you bought the Shindu, so I get the Tonga, you shall what in the Canada, Tomorrow, so you will touch it and the show. Okay. Yeah, so we continuously recite in English. Thus have I heard at one time the Lord was giving a Christ Kriya on the virtual big mountain, together with a great host of monks and great host of Bodhisattva. At that time the Lord was composed in the concentration on the course of Dharma called profound illumination. At that time also the noble Lord Avalokita, the Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, looked down, he beheld but 5 skandhas, and that in their own being they were empty. Then through the inspiration of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said, the noble Lord Avalokita, the Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, how should any child of good family train who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? And the noble Lord Avalokita, the Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, spoke to the Venerable Shariputra as follows: Shariputra, any son or daughter of a good family who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it thus: he or she beholds but 5 skandhas, and that in their own being they are empty. From form is emptiness, emptiness is form, emptiness is does not differ from form, and form does not differ from emptiness. Likewise, feeling, recognitions, volitions, and consciousness are empty. So Shariputra, all the dharmas are emptiness without differentiating marks. They are not produced or stopped, not defiled and not immaculate, not deficient and not complete. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no recognition, no volitions, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no tangible, no mental objects, no eye element, and so forth, up to no mind element and no mental consciousness element, no ignorance and no extinction of ignorance, and so forth, up to no aging and death and no extinction of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, origin, cessation, or path, no wisdom, knowledge, no attainment and non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattva abide relying on the perfection of wisdom without obscurations of thought, and so are unafraid, transcending prevented views. They attain the end, nirvana, all Buddhas existing in the three times, relying on the perfection of wisdom, fully awakened to the highest perfect enlightenment. Therefore, one should know that the mantra of the perfection of wisdom is the mantra of great knowledge, the highest mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra that allies all suffering. The truth, since it has nothing wrong, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha. In this way, Shariputra, Shuddha Bodhisattva and Mahasattva trained in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Lord rose from that concentration and commended the noble Lord Avalokita, the Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, saying, well said, O son of good family, so it is. O son of good family, so it is. Just as you have taught, should the profound perfection of wisdom be practiced, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. Thus spoke the Lord, the Venerable Shariputra, the noble Lord Avalokita, the Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, and the whole world. That assembly with the Devas, human beings, Asuras, and Gandharvas were delighted and applauded the Lord's speech. I prostrate to the gathering of Dakinis of the three places, coming from the supreme holy side of Kechu, pure land, who have powers of clairvoyance and magical emanation, and regard practitioners as their children. Apasamarata Shadara Samarayate, Apasamarata Shadara Samarayate, Apasamarata Shadara Samarayate, Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha, Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha, Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha. To the power of the great truth of the words of the exalted three jewels, may all adverse conditions be overcome, may they become non-exist, may they be pacified, may all evils such as enemies, obstacles, hindrances, and adverse conditions be pacified. Shanti Kuruye Soha. May the 80,000 types of obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from adverse, harmful conditions. May everything conducive be obtained and be the auspicious everything good. May there be excellent happiness here and now. Okay, so okay, so continuously as usual, we recite the generate the refuge and generate the mind of bodhicitta. So we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and our intention to taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is benefit for all sentient beings. Benefit for all sentient beings, sake of all sentient beings, we should achieve the state of enlightenment. So through this intention, so we are going to to start our morning class, the class of Truths. So I'm going to recite refuge and generate a mind of bodhicitta once in Tibetan, twice in English. So meanwhile we cultivate the thought of refuge and thought of bodhicitta. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the virtuous merit created by listening to the Dharma, I attain the state of Buddha in order to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the virtuous merit created by listening to the Dharma, may I attain the state of a Buddha in order to benefit all beings. Okay, so we offer mandala and visualize in front of us all the lineage of our masters, from Buddha Shakyamuni and until our present gurus, and we ask them the transmission of our, the sublime wisdom of Dharma. Through these transmissions, we are capable to overcome all our mental obscurations and awaken the light of wisdoms. This grounded, anointed with the perfumes, driven with the flowers, Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine as a Buddha land and offer to you. May all beings enjoy this pure land. Okay, so it's honor and pleasure to attending this this class, so especially those students, dear friends and students who are attending in this platform online. Also, I'm very grateful to you, all guys, that you guys give me an opportunity to, talking on such a deep and blessed topic like True Truths. So we all are so fortunate, as you guys are students, or you are like, who follows the Dharma, also very accumulating a lot of good deeds and merits. As a teacher, I am like I also accumulate a lot of merits as a cheerleader, like that I have opportunity to to cheer up Dharma. So as a teacher, I consider it as like a cheerleader, that we can cheer up with our such a wisdom path. So all good. So when Binzi Hassan, she asked me to, she programmed our, subject of teaching, and she wrote me a message to teach those subjects, and immediately I noticed that she is coming from such a big and qualified monastery. It's not very common subject. Usually, lay community, they ask those kind of and ordering and organize the subject. So immediately I noticed that she's having a good influence from the those living with the high geshes and high lamas and teachers and such a, because I noticed that this subject which she chose is based on ornament of realization, clear realizations. And ornament of clear realizations, they instruct us as 10 Mahayana instructions. We are practitioner of, we are Buddhist practitioner. We follow the Buddhist teaching. Especially, we follow the Mahayana teaching. As a Mahayana students, we must follow the Mahayana instructions. While we are following the Mahayana instructions, we follow there are 10 classes of instructions, which we follow as a classic and qualified practitioner. So those 10 instructions are like to truth as like the nature of our practice, the true truths. And then our focus of practice is a four truths. Four truths. And then we take four truths. Then we taking the refuge.
Wait a minute, my computer crashed. Okay. I lost the
Connections?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. How many we are in online today?
13.
13? Ah.
Yeah.
I saw Manu from Godot.
Right. And Ripoche from Singapore. This is my fault. I forgot to charge my computer.
Do you have a charger or?
I put the charger on, but it won't start. I can use, what happens, I can use that.
Yeah.
But then you have to keep an eye to let everybody in.
Yeah, you can. If you want a charger, my computer charger, I can take it. You have it?
Oh, I don't have a computer charger. I gave the car SIM.
Okay.
That's, but it wouldn't start. I'm gonna switch to that.
Yeah, that's fine.
If I switch.
Today's the first day, so that's why.
Right, because I'm out of it. So.
Notice that you choose the 10 instructions sublime and you forgot that in technologies you seize the knowledge.
Written in technology. Let me see. Do I have everybody? How do I get everybody back? Focus on my mind. Let me see. Let's see. Because I logged in as, let me see, do this again. Sorry about that, some technical errors. So if somebody joins, then you may have to check this.
Okay.
Because my computer there.
In my background, this charger, I don't know if it works in your computer or not. No, it's not working.
Yeah. It doesn't. I have the charger over there. I just need to charge up.
I don't know this one.
Okay, now we're ready.
You're ready?
Everybody's here.
I was teaching to Tenzin Hassan because Tenzin Dhamma and they're really traditional and classic. So I think she switched her knowledge. She overcome and transcended the technology, and she took the sublime knowledge. So she chose such a deep and profound lessons today. Usually I visit as like I'm a visiting teacher. And I visited the different centers. I always ask to my student to choose the subject, and then sometimes they ask me to choose, but I always try to postpone the subject because that students can choose their own subject, and they're showing me their own interest, what kind of interest in Dharma. So usually they choose, and sometimes I help them to choose. So this time Tenzin Hassan chose the subject. The reason why I asked to choose the subject to our students, because I believe the student learn, teacher doesn't teach. Because the wisdom is the wisdom which teacher shares with the students. It's go through the teacher as like a river, right? When we go to the river and everyone depend on their own, recipient, they take the water. So same as like the wisdom which flows to teacher, the students they take it. This is how we believe. So that's why usually I ask the student to choose the subject based on their interests, because the particular quality of the Buddha's teaching is, it doesn't matter whatever whatever subject you choose and you follow, it's connected and interdependence, and it moves. Even like you just follow the subject of Buddha, then you need to, the Buddha is related with the Dharma, Dharma is related with the Sangha, and in summary, you can get like a whole wisdoms. This is how the particular subject. So that's why in the traditionally we don't have a classification of teachings. This is higher, this is like elemental, and there is no any relation between elemental teaching and sublime teachings. They all are connected actually, not as like our conventional knowledge. The knowledge which we gain in our kindergarten is not related with the universities. Something, so they have a lot of, we in the conventional world we make a lot of classifications. So in the Buddhist, the particular teaching of Buddha, it's equanimity. All teaching are the same for all kind of students, and so that's why usually as a visiting teacher, I usually ask to students to choose what kind of interest they are, what kind of teaching which they are interested in learn. So that's why today is like Tritul. It's coming from the 10 instruction of the Mahayana instructions. So we follow the instructions like Tritul as the nature of our practice, and 4 truth is the focus of our practice, and then taking refuge. Taking refuge is like taking the direction, which direction we need to follow as a spiritual path. So we need to we take a direction toward enlightenment, toward the realizations, and toward like Sangha as a practitioner. So that's why the third instruction is like third instruction as instructions of the refuge. Then the fourth instruction is like intuitism, intuistic efforts, that when we follow the teaching, we must learn how to be enthusiastic and effort without any like concept of everything we need everything, every knowledge and every wisdom which we earn on the path, we need to earn through our effort. We need to walk through, we need to walk through without practicing and walking in it. We can't get it. Even like sometimes we need to walk against the law of gravity. Even when we if you want to develop our muscles, we need to we need to take a weight, like those
weightlifting.
Taking the weightlifting. When we take the weightlifting, we need to walk against the gravity. It's harder to take it up. It's easier to take it down. When you take it down, we don't develop the muscles. Only the muscles we develop when we Helmis. What should I do? I need to.
Let me see. Somebody wants to come in.
Yeah, it's a Helmis.
Yeah.
I need to.
Just. Oh, she's in.
She's in.
Yeah,
okay.
they're automatically coming.
We need to take it. We need to keep it up. So when we are waking up, it takes effort. But our mental attitude, we think that admit, Danny, I met you. Yeah, admit. I admit it.
Right.
It's a doctor met you. And then we need to walk. Our mental attitude, we think that I'm going to develop the muscles and I'm going to get a nice body. So our mental state of mind, it's kept like happy. So then the same as in our practice, we need to do the practice while we are practicing. We need to follow the instructions. When we follow the instructions, sometimes we are not get used to follow these kind of instructions. Sometimes we have a difficulty to we may face difficulties, but always keep in our mind that sooner or later I'm going to awaken my mind, awaken my wisdom. So I must keep my mind in a state of happiness without any distractions. Then then the for fifth one, it's like we need to walk, discouragement, with encouragement, with cheer up, it's called cheer up, or
enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic, without a discouragement, the free of discouragement.
Encouragement, opposite of discouragement.
Encouragement and
encourage each other.
Tireless, I think we need to walk through the tireless without free of tiredness, free of those.
With enthusiasm.
Yeah, enthusiasm, some kind of Then the fifth one is Mahayana tutor, the tutor, Mahayana tutor. So as a Mahayana tutor, usually when we describe the tutor, they have three kinds of tutors, like external, internal, and sacred. And the external is the teacher, the physically conventional teaching teacher who guide us, right? Like the external. The internal is like our compassion and wisdoms. The compassion and wisdom is our internal teacher. And the sacred is sacred is the teacher who it's related with those the energy and the channels, and those energy and channels. There are sacred chakras. Those are, so that's why we have three kind of when we talk about the teachers, the conventional and ultimate, or external, internal, and sacred. The conventional is a teacher who guides us physically as a human, and the ultimate is the wisdom, ultimate wisdom. The sublime wisdom is ultimate teacher. And when we're talking about conventional and ultimate, when we're talking about the external, internal, and the sacred, the external is the teacher who guides us, and the internal is the wisdom and compassion, and the sacred is the chakra and energies. So, as a tutor means, so this is just this old teacher that I'm teaching. It's a very profound, but I'm trying to make them it's a little easier to get knowledge. To understand. Then five eyes, five clairvoyance. Then the visions, the meditations. Totally, I think there's 10 Mahayana instructions which we need to follow to get the state of enlightenment, to stay through this. So our aim is sake of all sentient beings. We are state of we need to follow those instructions. When you follow those instructions, our intention to follow those instructions is we achieve the phase of wisdoms. We need to face the wisdoms. So while we are when we realize the wisdom, we need to face the wisdoms. So that's why, as a practitioner, we don't run after the knowledge. If we run after the knowledge, we never realize the front face of the knowledge. The front face of the knowledge is the wisdom. So if we don't see the front face of knowledge, we don't see the wisdoms, so it doesn't matter how long you run after the knowledge, but you are still a slave of the knowledge. You are never gonna get the real wisdoms. So that's why we don't need to be seekers or chasers. we need to be a discoverer who discover the real face of the knowledge, which is wisdom. So that's why, as a practitioner, I think we need to face the wisdom instead of running behind the knowledge. So, as ordinary beings, we are so good to run after our, how to say, our object of desire. We always run after, and we are seeking and seeking, and at the end, we never, how to say, realize our own. We never realize our own wisdoms. We never. So this is, I think, one of our main challenging, whether in the in mundane world or in the spiritual world. So in mundane world, also we are, running behind the 5 sensorial objects, and because of running behind the 5 sensorial objects, we never feel the satisfaction of having those 5 sensorial objects, and we always keep as a miserable state. We always, because we are, we are chasing. When we are chasing behind, we don't see the real face because we are behind. So as a practitioner, so we need to face we need to see the real face. It doesn't matter whatever. So when we chase, when we run after, run behind, so how to say? We become a predator.
Predator, yeah.
Predator.
Yeah.
Because predators, they always run behind to how to say, to catch the
prey.
To prey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, when we become a predator, we become a destructive, and we become a more violence instead of feeling in the front. So I, in this case, like I want to share on some, how to say, metaphor. There was a king and minister. The king was very stressed and very anguished and keeping a very stressful life. So he was so unhappiness, and then one day he asked to the minister to give him a company to walk around the village. So they go through the village, and then the king all the time talking about his stressful life. The life is so miserable in the palace. So it was all the time he was so anguished and so burdened, suffering. So suddenly they met one simple villager's family. They were just running, jumping, hugging, singing, dancing. Even their life is so simple. They don't have much, they are not living in the palace. They are a very simple life, and physically it's a poverty. So the king was so surprised, and he thought, oh, what happened with those villagers? They look so happy, even they don't have nothing. So he asked the minister, so what's the secret of your happiness? The king, he's a surrounding, and he's he has a lot of material, but he doesn't feel happiness. So then the minister said, okay, it's fine. After 6 months, he will share the secret of your happiness. So meanwhile, the minister asked the king must give him a 99 gold coin. 99 gold coin. If he give 99 gold coin, gold bar or gold coin, he can share. He can share the secret of happiness of those villagers after 6 months. And then the king gave him 99 gold coins to the minister. So minister took those 99 gold coins and left next door of the villager's house. The early morning, the villager, the man, when he came out, he found 99 gold coins, the bag of 99, and he counted, and there's only 99 gold coins. He counted again, and he found again 99. He asked his wife to counting 99 gold coins. So he was so shocked, and this he said, how stupid that person who left 99 gold coins instead of 100 complete gold coin, just left 99 gold coins. How stupid it is, that man. So we need to complete that 100 gold coin. So he chased after 1 gold coin. Day and night, he walking so hardly to, as a villager, not that easy to find 1 gold coin. It's not that easy. So he just walking, like day and night, walking so hard to make complete. So his wife was so shocked that, oh, we have a 99 gold coin. Instead of, having a good life, now he's running after the 1 gold coin. So meanwhile, he took the 2 gold coins, he went to shopping. She went to shopping, and she bought a lot of things like watches, rings, earrings, lipsticks, those fancy Louis Vuitton, a lot of things. She back to home with she went shopping. So the afternoon, when the husband back to house, he counted, and they missed 2 gold coins. He was so upset, and said, who took those 2 gold coins? He is working so hard to find 1 gold coin. Meanwhile, his wife spent 2 gold coins. It's so upset. And since then, there was no much, they're not get along with them, and they're all the time quarreling, they're accusing each other. All those, state of happiness disappear. After 6 months, the king back to the village, and he saw those family were so upset, they're quarreling, they are accusing, So king was so shocked, and he said, how is it possible that in 6 months the people changes a lot? How is it possible? Like 6 months ago they were really happy, and now, and then the minister, he asked the minister, what happened with those family? And then, your call ends in 15 minutes.
Oh, because it's on the timer. I have to send a new Google link.
But we have a 15 minutes, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I will resend a new link.
Yeah. Okay. After 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So then the minister said, okay, now this family is belong to the 99 club, the club of 99, because they have a 99 gold coins, but still chasing after the one single gold coin. So that's why they never, have a contentment with having a 99 gold coin. Mm-hmm. So same as a spiritual practitioner, sometimes we are chasing after the knowledge, and we lost our day-to-day life, contentment day-to-day life, and a contentment of the compassion and love and the wisdom in our day-to-day life, because we are chasing after the knowledge. So we need to, as a practitioner, so we need to see the real face of the knowledge, which is the wisdoms. We need to face it. When we need to face it, we need to stay in front of that object of our realizations, instead of chasing after and running behind. So that's why, as a practitioner, we don't need to be a seeker. We need to be a discoverer. We need to discover our own knowledge, because the Buddhist is a self-discoverment. Self-discovery, right? We need to discover which is what kind of things that we need to discover, that discovered our, how to say, deep state of our essence of our nature. The nature is a pure and sublime, and it's a compassionate, and it's like a kindness. This is what we need to discover. And so when we discover, or when we face the reality, or when we face the front face of the knowledge, we need to how to say, know the truth of our reality, truth of our existence, so that's why our it comes the true truth of the true truth, the practice of true truth, the conditional truth, and how to say, ultimate truth. And so the concept of true truth is a very, I think, one of the particular teaching of the Buddha. Before Buddha, I think no one talking about the true truths. Most of still there are, people think this, there's only one truth. The truth is only one. Rest of the things is, false, right? And the only who sees the truth is, who are high, those, who are in this state of very high realizations. So, but the Buddha taught us the true truth. It's all his teaching based on true truth, because this is one of his, how to say, sublime method. Because the natural Buddha is so compassionate. All his teaching coming through compassion, not that coming through his knowledge or his knowledge. So all his teaching coming through the compassion. As a compassionate person, he never lack of respect to others. He always respect, and he always considerated the others and the followers. When we see and when he considerated others, so he need to say, he need to he can't. It's not good to say that whatever you see are false and whatever I see is a truth. So you have your own truth. What's your own truth is a conditional truth. He makes something. I think it's a very, the Buddhist teaching is a teaching of mental processing, the progress. When we make a progress of our mental state, we can't make any hindrances. We need to keep it open, the mind, unconditionally. If we make some hindrances, and it's obstruct to progress our mental state. So as a practitioner, also we need to be like selfish but disinterested. Selfish, how to say, disinterest? With disinterest, like without any interest.
Yeah.
Just focus.
Uninterested.
What? Uninterested.
Yeah.
Selfish, uninterested. We need to be selfish because we need to follow what we wish, but without any condition, without any subjective or condition, without any, how to say, interested. I'm interested in this. Just this is what I need to do. This is my, just focus our practice instead of making our destiny. if we make a destiny, so when we reach the destiny, you are finished.
Yeah.
Now you are not going to go beyond.
Right.
So the wisdom of Buddha is a wisdom beyond the it's a transcendent wisdom. It's beyond the wisdom beyond the destination. So that's why, and it's a little bit make us confusing. It's like so because I want to reach there. So from that I don't want to do anything. So if we think like this, when you get the your destiny, and then you go, you are not you are not going to keep continuously developing. If you don't keep continuously developing, then you have some obstruct. So that's why as a practitioner, we need to be selfish, but disinterested or uninterested, and also unconditionally, without any conditions. This is what I need to do, and I do it. I don't mind what the people think. I don't mind what what reward I'm going to receive. If I'm going to receive a reward, I'm going to do. If I don't receive the reward, I'm going to do, because this is what we need to do it as a practitioner. As a practitioner, we need to discover the wisdoms, we need to develop the compassion. So while we are developing the compassion and wisdom, I'm not looking after the reward, and I'm not looking after the, opposite the reward, what is it?
Punishment?
Punishment. I go beyond the punishment, I go beyond the, reward. This is do what I need to do. And this is way, it's our practice and our mind keep free of subject of condition. When we are subject of condition, we are not liberated. So we practice without any, we still keep our mind under the pressure of subjective, under subjective conditions. When you are subjective condition, you are not totally free to do the practice. If you are not totally free to do the practice, then our deluded mind is so
Powerful.
So powerful and make us vulnerable. When we become vulnerable, it's the easy way. It's easy to make it break.
Right.
It's we just everything we break it, because our mind is subject of the condition which we make it, because we are chasing after the beyond the knowledge. So we don't get real knowledge, which is belong to the wisdoms. Okay, now it's 5 minutes. We need to switch, or
no,
it's
not
okay.
yet. Till the end, it will shut us off. I'll generate a new link and put on.
Okay.
Put on.
Yeah. So that's why without knowing the truth, so we can't we are not capable to face the front face of the knowledge. So that's why when we front face of the knowledge, which is wisdom, they have a conventional truth and ultimate truth. So that's why Buddha himself show us the truth. The things that we see is a conventional but not a truth, ultimate truth. But it's something. That ultimate truth is related with the conditional truth. The conditional truth and ultimate truth are not contradictory one to another. Both are complementing, right? Without conditional truth, we can't discover the ultimate truth. So that's why we can't ignore the both truth. We need to see both truth, the conditional and ultimate truth. So that's why when we actually the subject of true truth is so deep and so profound and so extensive teaching. So, and it's I have a challenge to extend all those teaching really deeply because of my limited knowledge. So, so anyhow, I'm trying to describe the true truth in the simple way, based on those false schools. So every school of the philosophy, they describe different definition and different description of the true truths. So because all those philosophy schools, four schools, as a philosopher, as a practitioner, they don't satisfied with what they see. They're just trying to go beyond that, and they're trying to discover the reality, because when they analyze, they see the differences, what we see and what is the reality. So that's why, and we can't believe and we can't believe in what we see, and because there's a occult reality, or invisible, obscure or invisible reality. Usually the conventional people, they don't bother to find that reality, because they just follow what they see, right? So that's why ordinary people, they don't bother, and then they just believe in what they see and their appearance. So and the end, they don't bother to find the reality. So that's why they are, subdued by their delusions. They are deluded, because the appearance, it's diluted. They cheat. The appearance,
is deceptive.
It's deceptive, right? The appearance.
Or it's appearance is a deception, or appearance is deceptive. Appearance is
deceiving, or deceiving the appearance. They deceive us. Because they believe what they see and they don't go beyond. And then because the reality and appearance are two different phenomena. So they are not now join, or it's okay to new meeting something.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna have a new link. Right. So I'm sorry, but this is. If I use computer, they're gonna kick us out after an hour. New meeting. Generate. Do you need a napkin?
No, it's okay. I think it's something.
Virus? Okay. I see. Next time I just use phone directly.
Okay, so that's why, there's a two differences. The conventional people, ordinary people, usually they don't bother to find the reality. So they just believe what they see. When they believe what they see, and then they feel decisive, right? Decisive.
Yeah, they are deceived.
Deceived, yeah, they are deceived and they are deceiving, because when they're deceiving, and then they feel like they're burdened, and then they and say, someone wants to join calls.
Yeah, you just say yes.
Yeah. They're burdened and they feel sufferings. So they are subdued by the suffering. When they are subdued by the suffering, but they are not still consciousness of the reality of sufferings.
Right.
When they are not conscious of suffering, the suffering becomes a destiny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Suffering. So that's why we need to be conscious wherever we are, whatever it happens around us. We need to be conscious. So especially that we are conscious with our state of suffering. Then suffering not going to be our destiny. So as a practitioner, so then we don't believe what we see. So we just search the reality. What is the behind it appearance? Because the appearance and the reality are two things different. So then there's a conflict. It appears. Oh, now we started to bother to search the reality. When they search the reality, then they have a different classes of the schools. Based on their wisdoms, they described the Vaibhasika, Sautrantika, Chitta Mantra, Madhyamikas. They described and some of them they said what we see is a real, and some of them says what we see is not real. There's no any ultimate things like this. Because our state of mind right now, it's like not a free of deceiving mind. It's an obscured mind. It's obscured mind, and as an obscured mind, we don't see the clarity of object because of our obscurations. Right? So, for example, that obscuration, whatever obscuration mind sees, we cannot reject or refute. There is the object does not exist. For example, if we wear the obscure glasses and we look on the white paper, we don't see the white paper. We see a little bit shadow, white with the shadow. But actually, what's the reason behind that we see the white paper with the shadow? Because we are wearing that obscure, right? It's black glasses.
Right.
Or
The
dark glasses.
Yeah.
We wear the dark glasses. Because of this darkness, we don't see the whiteness of the paper. We see paper with a little shadow. So just seeing the paper with a little shadow, we cannot say the paper is not exist. The paper exists. There is a paper, but the reason is like we exaggerate the darkness. We exaggerate. So same as it happened with the our ordinary mind and enlightened mind. The enlightened mind, it's a mind free of obscurations. They see the clarity, the whiteness of paper, just whiteness, and not a Jorge Luis Acedo. We don't see. They don't see just the clarity of the But usually we see, because of our obscuration mind, we don't see the clarity. So we confuse, and we confuse that shadow on the paper. It's belong to the paper, and we see, that we see more. Our mind has some kind of tendency to see the negative. And as much as we focus on negative, we extract the more negative. So it's pretty unfair, All the rivers go into the ocean. If in the ocean they don't need any water, they have enough water. They don't need any water, but the ocean extract all those rivers from the all different kind of mountains. But actually, where need the water? In the desert place, where there's only desert, there's no water, there's no humidity, they're not growing anything, it's so dry, but they need a water. But the water never goes to those places. They only goes to the ocean where there's full of water. So why? It's unfair actually, right? So same it happens, happened with us, and as samsaric beings, we need a happiness, we need a wisdom, but wisdom never comes into our life. They only goes to those, enlightenment beings. Because the enlightened beings, they don't need any wisdom anymore because they already have it. But they goes because it's the power of extraction, the power of the force. Because our negative mind only extracts negative things, and the positive mind they extract the positive things. But the negative mind actually needs a more positive, because the negative they destroy and they make them suffering. But this is how it happens, because of our mental attitude and mental. So that's why we need to keep focus on the wisdom. We need to face, we need to keep face to the wisdom instead of going behind. So that's why, right now our mind is obscured. So that's why we see the thing negative, obscure things. We don't see the clear. So that's why this obscuration we need to purify. The purification, that's actually the cleansing our mind. Our mind need a cleansing, clean. Because if we don't clean those state of obscurations, and those obscurations obstruct us. If our mind is obstruct, then it's not a not follow, or it's not go
not flow freely, not flow.
Yeah, not flow
properly.
Properly. Yes,
Yeah.
something obstruct.
Right.
So where there's obstruction, it's blocked. Our mind is blocked.
Right.
When our mind is blocked, it make us suffering. We don't know what to do now. I'm blocked. I'm
Stuck.
I'm stuck somewhere. So and all the samsaric people, we are stuck somewhere. So that's why we do repeatedly again and again. So it makes us so tired. It's like we are almost OCD.
Yeah, OCD.
Kind of OCD we developed in the samsaric peoples. Somehow it's we have some kind of OCD which is diagnosed or not diagnosed. It's some kind of, because OCD mind is a stuck mind, right?
Yeah.
Also, it's something is stuck. It's repeating all the time, and also they said the way of repeating is not a kind of gratitude. It's always negative.
Right.
And tragic.
Right.
Tragic. So we don't deserve being as an OCD mind. We deserve something better than OCD mind. Actually, this is how. So that's why Buddha he said, you deserve better than now. You deserve being kindness, and you deserve being wise instead of deserving, instead of staying, how to say, malicious and ignorance. So that's why the state of enlightenment is our innate right. It's innate right from the since we born. We have a right to achieve the enlightenment. We have a right to develop the wisdoms. When we fight for our right, so these days, everybody is fighting for their own rights.
Right. We all have rights.
Yeah, we have rights, right of freedom, right of
We have
liberty.
rights to be wise.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, we need to practice unconditionally. So because we have, being wisdom is our right, we need to fight our right unconditionally.
Right.
Unconditionally. So that's why we don't need to run behind the knowledge. We need to just face the knowledge, and we need to realize the wisdoms. So that's why I'm saying, like, we don't need to be a seeker. We need to be a discoverer. Right? It's a seeker as as long as you seek, you are still a seeker, and you don't have realizations.
Right.
You are still, how to say, a slave. You are still not an owner of the. We need to be an owner of our wisdoms. We need to be, how to say, we don't need to be as a seeker. So as long as you seek, you don't have it. So that's why, as a practitioner, so we need to be discovered, and we need to be an owner of our own wisdoms. When we are being owner and, how to say, discoverer, we need to face it, our knowledge too. We need to realize the wisdoms. So that's why why we are not capable now seeing directly the face of the knowledge, because of the obscuration mind. Our mind is obscured, so that obscuration obstructs us, and we are stuck somewhere. So that's why it's actually the conventional and ultimate, right? Conventional, it means kunzop. Kunzop means like the obstruction of the reality. Obscuration of the reality, or obstruction of the reality. Reality of the ultimate truth. So that's why everything that conventional mind sees, those are conventional objects. Everything that ultimate mind, which is mind is so free of obscuration, it's called the ultimate truth. So that's why the things that we see, it's not an ultimate truth, but it's a conditional truth, because those things we see through obscuration mind. So that's why they have two kind of truth. It appears. So those, the ultimate truth, it's the truth. It's through the mind free of non-duality. There is beyond the subject and object mind, which they see its ultimate truth. Right now, our mind is diluted with the duality. So those duality, the problem with the duality, it's how to say, keep our mind distant. We don't, connect with our essence of compassions. What the duality mind keep us, distance, and keep us disconnected. While we are disconnected, then we are not connected. When we are not connected, so this is the problem. So that's why we don't feel full of love and full of compassion. Because we are social beings. As a social beings, the connection is very important. If there is no connecting, then we feel lonely, we feel abandoned, we feel all the delusions which usually people face because they are not connected with our essence of the deep essence of our existence and our reality. So that's why having a non-duality mind, it's it's a necessary, it's very important to develop the feel connected. And once we overcome the duality and we fully connected. Once we are fully connected, we are free of abandoned. We are free of lack of the loved one or lack of the compassion, and we are so that's why the compassion and wisdoms are very two-faced with the one coin. Right? And when we develop the compassion, we need to develop the wisdom. When we develop the wisdom, we need to develop the compassion. If we don't develop both and simultaneously, we don't achieve the state of enlightenment. I mean, like grossly saying.
Yeah.
So that those, the wisdom and non-duality and the compassion emotion, compassion, it's very useful in our day-to-day life. And so the compassion help us to connect. We are connecting each other. When we are connecting each other, then we are not judging the others. We are, go beyond the judging. So when we go beyond the judging, we just feel fully loved. It's a fully loved. When we are full in love, and then we become more tolerance. We become more resilience, and we suffer less, and we create less negative karma. So that's why it's truth. The concept of truth. It's directly connected with our state of compassion and a state of I would say love. It's not just a knowledge which related with the sophisticated philosophical talking and making the things more difficult instead of because our mundane world, everything needs to make it difficult. Even it's a simple, but first we make it difficult, then we try to make it simple. While we are making simple, we wasted already our time and energy to make it difficult. Then we are so good to make us suffering, and we are so good to create the suffering, and even we don't desire the suffering, but we are so good to create the suffering, and we all the time making us suffering, and so that's why we are paradoxic or
paradox beings.
Yeah, paradox beings, and coherence, incoherence.
Yeah.
We wish something and we do another thing opposite. Yeah. This is what we, because we are seeker, not an owner. So that's why it's when we describe about the truths, like this this glass is a conventional truth. The ultimate truth of this glass is emptiness, the object of negation of self-existence of glasses is ultimate truth. But we don't see, as ordinary, we just see the glasses, the conditional see. We don't see the, self-exist glass. So, so when they describe about, so now, how they describe every schools, like Vaibhasika, when they're talking about, they also talk the true truths. And based on their, philosophical view, the conventional truth, it's the paper is a conventional truth. Why the paper is a conventional truth? When it breaks, it disappears the concept of paper. The paper becomes garbage. That all the things which we can, when it breaks the idea. It's a conventional. Like the glass is a conventional because when we break the glass, now it's no more glass. This is just a garbage or broken glasses. It's normal glasses. These are the conventional truth. This is what they describe based on their knowledge. It's a conventional truth. And based on their knowledge, what is the ultimate truth? It's like a consciousness. And our consciousness, it doesn't matter whether it's break the first, second, third, fourth, but still keep it's a consciousness, cognition. So they think that, oh, this is ultimate truth. There's even the classified or particles, they separate all those particles. Still, it keeps the idea of that
consciousness.
That consciousness. And they think this is atom.
Atom or atom?
Atom, right? This is the simple.
The atom,
yeah.
The particles.
Particles. The atom of the particle, they think that there is a partless particle.
Right. If you go down to the smallest, the finest particle to the last, it's no longer. It cannot be divided.
Yeah.
So there's
indivisible particle, which is also ultimate truth, because it doesn't matter how you make partitions,
right.
But still it keeps it.
Right.
I think they have some kind of scientific theory too, right? Indivisible particle. I heard something, but I'm not sure. But this is something theory. Right. This is they think that it's a. So that's why it's there's gross and subtle. So those gross things are conventional. The gross, like the material of all the things, are conventional as a consciousness, and it's such a subtle. And they think it's a ultimate truth. So this is the how they describe actually. It's something. The reason why they describe like this to our mind, it's progressing. So this way, as a very it's a very all those beginner people like us so it's okay. The conventional is more gross and it's ultimate is more subtle. It's how to say. It's more make us little understandable.
Right.
Until this moment, we don't have any concept of conventional and ultimate.
Right.
Just
it's a way for beginners to start getting used to the concept.
Yeah, concept. Yes, the concept is. So that's why Buddha is so compassionate, and he always introduce the wisdom through how to say progressively, and because otherwise we are not get used to those concepts. Like so many concepts which we are not get used to it. Even we think that we are get used to it, but actually we are not.
Right.
Actually.
The mind cannot accept the new concept right away.
Yeah, that's true. It's not. So that's why it comes. I would say different philosophical schools. It's all the schools are actually interconnected one to another. So if we don't know the gross and subtle, we can't realize the reality of the truth, because it's true they have some two different things, because those all the conventional things, because the conventional mind sees, so that's why they call it conventional. The ultimate truth is the only those the people who has non-duality mind sees. They say ultimate truth. So there's a big difference between non-duality mind and obscured mind. Obscured mind, it's a confused mind, the confusion mind. So make us always judging, confusing, confused. And when we see the reality, and we surprise, wow, it's totally different, or totally different, and the reality and what we thought. So that's why there's two two different truth, and we feel more comfortable when we understand our conceptually, like, oh, the conventional, it means something which it break it down. It breaks the idea, like a paper and like a computer. So after we break this piece by piece, the computer is no more computer. No one says it's a computer. It's just a garbage. Right? And the mobile, actually also did mala, right?
Right.
So this is mala because of all together the pieces of those bola.
The balls, the beads.
Beads, yeah. When all the beads are together, it's a mala.
Right.
Once all the beads are separated, it's no more mala.
Right.
It's no more mala, right? Just beads. So actually, it's like the forest because there are full of trees. When we separated all the trees one by one, there is no more forest.
Right.
It's just separate. The idea of the forest is to disappear.
Right.
So that's why it's conventional, right? So because we disappear the idea, so same as like military. Each soldier is a military. It's each soldier is a military, right? It's something like a mark among me.
The American Army's recruiting slogan is "One is the army."
Yeah, so it's in Tibetan like the battle and the army, right? The battle, each army is another battle. When they go all together, it's a battle.
Right.
When they separate it, there's no more battle. The concept of like something like the forest, los mala, all these things are conventional based on your idea. That's ultimate. It's even we separate, but the idea is still same. It's like a consciousness, atom, indivisible atom, etc. This is what they think. Yeah.
So I have a question. I didn't understand this. So conventional, for the beginners, the conventional truth is like if something separated into parts, that something no longer exists. This is the conventional truth to the beginner. And the ultimate truth would be, for the beginner, the ultimate truth
it's
would
like
be
a consciousness.
That it can be
break the idea.
The idea cannot be broken.
Idea cannot be broken, yes. So for example, the first moment of consciousness, second moment of consciousness, third moment, still there is a consciousness.
So is there a beginning? There's a beginning, or there's a creator. It belongs to conventional truth or belongs to ultimate truth for the beginner. Like in the beginning level, the ultimate truth would it address like the beginner? I mean the beginning, like.
So the mind itself is a beginningless, right?
Right.
It's a continuously. It's a continue. So it's a continue. It doesn't matter how much you break it down, but still it's consciousness.
So in that sense, it is the ultimate truth.
Ultimate truth. This is something which is you cannot break the idea. They say okay, it's ultimate because it's more stable. The conditional is more unstable. It's more transitory, right? It looks, and then so that's why this is the definition between ultimate and conditional based on the Vaibhasika schools, the school, right? So it's I'd say. It makes sense.
It makes sense. It's within my understanding.
Yeah, it makes sense for us for the beginning, right? So, in time that we're developing our idea, then we can still go beyond, go more subtle and go more, okay. So now. So, Tantrika, when they describe the two truths, they describe a little bit different than the Vaibhasika. Something which is functional, they say it's ultimate truth. So the glass is ultimate truth because glass function as holding the water, keeping the water. It's something functional. So like ultimate truth, functional object, impermanence, projective, and characteristic exist. These are the synonymous. So for there, something which it function itself, it's ultimate because it's a functioning.
Right.
Their description of ultimate is not description of stability and non-stability. Their description of the ultimate, it's ultimate because it's functioning, it's object. It's just a conceptual as a conventional, something which is concepts. All those concepts are it's not a functional, it's just a concept, it's not a real concept. So that's why it's called conventional. Conventional, it's literally, it sounds like a, not a real one, right? So actually, like a usual, or when we talk, it's a conventional. It means it's a temporary. It's not the ultimate. It's not a
It's not useful.
It's not useful. It's not a reality, right? A real object, original. Ultimate is original. I need the ultimate one because this is my ultimate goal. It's my conventional goal is like temporary.
Right.
Just I'm a conventional walker. Just I'm walking here as a temporarily. I'm not a full contract.
Right.
The ultimate, it sounds like a full contract. You are now fully dedicated. Sounds like this. So for Vaibhasika, based on their idea, it's a conventional or not a real one, not a genuine one. It's just idea. It's a concepts. So like as permanent, non-protective, they are something which is. So most of our students, they are studying also Dudya, right? Dudya and Riglam, the path of the Riglam is the path of part of the knowledge or path of the wisdom. And Riglam, it's a Riglam. How do we translate the path of logic? I think the Riglam is part of logic, right? They all are studying like Dudya. Many of our students are studying with those 10-year courses, etc. And we are like pretty, get used to with those concepts like objective, functional object, mopo, tappa, chepa, all those. So their concept of ultimate is totally different than Madhyamika and Chidamantra.
Right.
So sometimes it makes us confuse also students and and like in Spain I'm giving the Madhyamika Charyavatara. It's the text of the classic text of Madhyamika, and this classic text of Madhyamika Charyavatara by Chandrakriti. There are a lot of debate between Chidamantra and Madhyamika, and the main opponent of the text is a Chidamantra. So before they describe the idea of Chidamantra and before they neglect oppose, right? The idea of Chidamantra, they need to describe even those non-Buddhist schools, what they think. And one day they're talking about the non-Buddhist school and then go to the Buddhist school, and when they go to the Buddhist school, they start with the Vaibhasika, Satantrika, Chidamantra, and sometimes it makes confused. So the student, they blaming us. So tell me, what's the truth? So why you are talking so many philosophical schools and you said that the main is the Madhyamika, just tell me the Madhyamika, because our life is challenging here in the lay person life. We don't have enough strength to focus all those point one by one. So as same as it happens when we go to the doctor and the doctor started saying that first you should study the medicines before you cure your flu, right? You need to know where it's coming from. You need to know, so at least you need to know how to inject. So normal patient, we don't have enough because please just give me the paracetamol that you can, or ibuprofen, right? Because my nose is so blocked. I don't mind to. I'm not interested to be
a
medical doctor. So this is a big challenge between when we follow the classical teacher and we follow the teacher. So sometimes when we follow the classical teaching and when we follow the just a simple practice like reciting mantra.
Right.
Ordinary people feel comfortable to just reciting the mantra because it makes us feel like now I have an ibuprofen, so I'm going to cure my headache. So it's something. So that's why the both are, I think, respectable, and we need to complement. We can't. So that's why, because the lay life is not an easy life. It's so many demanding, and because most of our energy we already dedicate chasing after our sensorial objects. So we don't have enough mental strength because we are so demanding.
Right.
So that's why sometimes following those like 10 instruction of Mahayana, it's not that it's very classical and very very qualified. I'm not saying that just reciting mantra is not qualified. Of course, it's reciting this mantra is qualified because it's contain all those 10 instructions.
Right.
But sometimes the problem it's we do through our devotion, not we are doing through our wisdoms. So they have sometimes our practice become incomplete.
Right.
Even we receive a lot of teachings, but our problem is the lack of the practice.
Right.
We don't, because we lack the practice, because there are a lot of, I think, challenging. If we don't face the challenging, those challenges, we can't, realize. So that's why we need to walk and practice against the law of gravity.
Yeah, gravity.
Gravities, against the gravities, It's just, we need to develop our mind, we need to progress our mind against the law of gravity. The law, if we follow our law of gravity, our mind is keep going deteriorations, right? Because we never train the mind, and then the mind has a tendency to, be more obscurate, make more obscurate. It's not that a challenging task. It comes,
it's almost natural for
it's
the mind.
almost natural, yeah, it's almost natural. So purifying our obscurations and developing and cultivating all those, it's challenging. It's so many challenging. We need to, because our habitual mind, we are so habituated to be, obscured. Okay, so do we have any questions on our?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
How does this actually play in what is ultimate truth, especially Vaibhashika and Sampatika school, this philosophy of these two groups? How is this non-duality
Yeah.
in this so-called Vaibhashika and Sampatika?
Yeah. Okay, so in this case, actually, related to the Vaibhashika and Sautantrika, they are not bothered to talk about non-duality. It's just that they talking the non-self exist. It's the concept of non-duality is actually the concept belong to the higher schools. Chitta Mantra and Madhyamika, yes, yeah. So they just talking about the non-self exist, right? Then because from them its object is a self exist. They believe in the self exist. The object as a self exist, but as a being is an. So later we will talk more on these things. But Vaibhashika and Sautantrika, yes. So so yes, okay. So when Buddha he make a rules and he says he gave us the 4 seals of Buddha. all the philosophical schools, Buddhist philosophical schools, we need to follow those four how to say, seals. Seals of Dharma. All those compounded are impermanent.
Right.
And all those, contaminate are sufferings. All those phenomena are non-self-exist, non-self-exist. And then all those, the nirvana is a peace. So when they describe about the all phenomena are non-self-exist, and the self, it's there's a one, let's say, gross and subtle self. The self, which like there is no self, it's autonomous and out of our aggregates. Right? There is no self out of aggregates. It's a gross self, which usually the non-Buddhist philosophical schools, they believe there is a self-independent self, which is out of our aggregates. We Buddhists, we don't believe, because we are a selfless school, right? And then the subtle, the self, there is no self, which is substance. It's like a substance, right? Substantial. Substantially, we don't exist. This is the. So we exist or not exist? We exist. So if we exist, who we are aggregates. So this is what they described. So that's why we have a little time. So that's why they don't talk about the non-duality. It's a very Madhyamika, Mahayana concepts. Yeah. So that's why there is one journalist went to see a Buddhist teacher to interview, and he said, "What's our actual problem in the world? It's just a war, and it's hunger, it's corruptions, it's global warming." And the master, he said, "I don't care about this. I want to know who you are." Who you are. The journalist said, "Okay, I'm John. Oh, this is your name, not you." And okay, then he said, "Okay, I'm a journalist, and this is your profession, not you. And who you are?" And then he said, "Okay, I'm American, this is your country, it's not you." And then he said, "Okay, then who you are?" Still master is asking, "And who you are?" And he said, "Okay, I'm human beings, this is your species, not you." And the journalist said, "Now, sorry, I don't know who am I." So then the master said, "This is the actual problem of the world. We don't know who we are, but we just make ourselves something, our own identity, and we are just fighting for this identity. American, country, Tibetan, etc. Right? We are just making a lot of conflict based on this identity. Save America, etc. There are a lot of slogans, and we follow, and then we make a group, different group. Actually, we are selfless. Then we are not exist. Then who we are, we need to. And we go to the Vaibhasika and Sadantrika and say, who we are aggregates. We are just aggregates. And we go to Chitta Mantra and say, oh, we are more than aggregates. Who we are consciousness. We are consciousness. So we think that, there's something related, the ultimate is the consciousness, because we are something, there's related to be identify ourselves. Because the crisis identity, the actual problem, one of the actual problem in the world is a crisis, identity crisis, right?
Identity crisis.
Identity crisis.
Identity crisis.
Crisis, right?
Yeah.
This is, they said, and then what we they have a gender identity, more than 30 gender identities actual, right? It's growing, still keep growing. They are not only male, female, now they are transgender, co-gender, and they have people who are not well identify their own identity. They have a lot of facing problems. In our case, it's a little bit simple. Oh, okay, I'm a male. I'm not interested in lipstick. I'm not interested in foundations. And the other said, I'm a female. I'm not interested in how to say, etc. We are a little bit clear, but actually it's a big problem in the world. So that's why the Chitta Mantra said, if we ask the Chitta Mantra who you are, they say, I'm a consciousness. But conventional people make us like, if we ask the taxi driver who you are, and you are not you, and you are not a taxi driver, you are the consciousness. Hey, consciousness, come to drive me to the mall. Maybe they become upset. They're upset. So then go to the Madhyamika, and the Madhyamika, if you ask the Madhyamika who we are, we are non-duality, and we are the just male imputation, a designation. So these are really Mahayana conceptual. So that's why when here the Vaibhasika and Sautantrika, I think they don't. They're talking about the truth, but they're not talking about the ultimate, like non-dual concept of the truth. But they like. So anyhow, it's coming later, more deeply. Yeah. Okay, so it's 11:15.
Oh yeah, 11:15.
So,
yeah.
11:15. We need to stop here. We keep continuously later. So we have something class in the afternoon or?
Not in the evening. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30.
Here,
tonight,
we'll have an evening class 7:30, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah, we keep continuously in the classes, two classes of Tritul, evening sections. Okay, though, so okay, I think we stop here, and we offering one mandala, offering a mandala as a gratitude. Sashi, Bishe, Jushin, Metal, Tam, Rizalin, Shin, Dekin, Badi, Sanke, Shindo, Midembio. Togo Namda Shinga Chevara Show, Yedama, Guru, and Mandala, Nia Daya. Okay, so dedication. Dedication of merit, Chanju Center. Okay, so we dedicate our merit for achieving the two-state, the realization of true truth, and we dedicate this merit for all sentient beings to realizing the true truths. May the precious mind of enlightenment, not yet born, arise and grow. May their born will not decline but increase forever, in order to follow the excellent examples set by the wisdom of the Bodhisattva Manjushri and the always sublime Samadhabhadra. I dedicate all virtue to their peerless ideals. All conquerors pass into the three times have grace as supreme. This peerless dedication, therefore, I also surrender all roots of my activities to the sublime goals of Bodhisattva. May all sentient beings, our fathers and mothers, have stable happiness. May all the evil-gone realms become empty forever. And may all the prayers of all the Bodhisattvas, wherever they reside, be fulfilled. 다소 진이 사부교와 대단한도와 공락함에 대체버지서 모산타와 이때면이 고링도 세제쇼 때마른지 초기 맞춰버 접전에 그렇게 초딘 인지 정보를 쳐봐 밴데된데 세월을 제거를 쇼 전주선 조를 묻지 맞제 관음 제주 제발이는 밤에 공내 공도 배워를 쇼. Okay, thank you so much, and see you 7:30 at evening. Okay, have a good time and have a